David wrote, should we as a country choose who can come in? I think the answer to that is yes. That's what makes us a country. Remember, God created borders. He's the one who set the boundaries. He's the one who invented the system. Ponder this for a moment. Would you, if the globe were yours and the continents all belong to you, would you ever just divide lines up and say this is one country and this is another country? I know I wouldn't, but God did. Why? As an act of kindness. That's right. This is Tower of Babel business. This is Genesis 9. That when people all speak one language, they get together, they think that they can kick God off the throne. Ridiculous, of course, but hey, that's how we think. And God said, I'm going to scatter you. I'm going to make nations. I'm going to draw some borders, Acts chapter 17, and I'm going to confuse your languages so that you do not try to usurp the throne. That is why we have borders and boundaries. And a nation is not a nation without them. God determined this is best for us, and so He, I believe, gives us the ability to say who should come in and who should come out. Now, that's where it gets a little bit tricky for the Christian, doesn't it? You see, our politics instruct us that capitalism is a great thing, and I agree because that's based on the Bible, but we got to be careful because if we bring in too many people, that could affect the employment of the people who are already here. Is that a valid consideration? I believe it is, because we want to be loving as many people as possible. Having said that, we also want to be loving as many people as possible who are not born here because we care. We want to help people. We want to do good unto others. We want to see their plight and say, wow, there's opportunity here. Please come so that you can partake of this huge banquet that God, not our politicians, have provided for us. Do you feel a tug? You should if you're thinking about both of these issues. I think the scale should tip for the Christian a little bit more toward compassion, just a little bit. But we still need to remember, wow, we want to make sure that we don't upset this apple cart, and all of a sudden all of us find ourselves in poverty. Furthermore, as long as we're talking about the Bible, in the Old Testament, God told the Jews to welcome these sojourners, not Jim Wallace, but to welcome those who were foreigners who come into the country. If they will assimilate, if they will melt, if they will become Jewish, then they could stay in the nation and be treated as anybody else. Why? Because God cares about foreigners. He cares about the orphans. He cares about the widows, and we should too.